Good morning, guys.
Morning.
I'm Richard Art, fourth generation Tama County crop and livestock farmer near Clearwater. I'm speaking today on behalf of Tama County Against Turbines. And I got something I wanna say before, or say my 2 cents worth. I saw in Cedar Rapids paper, the Gazette on Saturday, an article that talked about the government giving wind companies more petitions to allow them to kill more bald and golden eagles, to allow wind companies to remove nests too. What is this country doing? Why is green energy more important than the symbol of freedom? This is nuts for our country to suggest. Green energy is not worth it. Okay, that's my 2 cents worth. We are here today for the 24th straight week to call for updates to Tama County's minimal outdated commercial wind energy ordinance excuse me, to better protect public safety and highly productive farmland. Larry, last Monday, September 26th, you stated that you've already taken care of that when referring to the zoning board's request to enact a moratorium on any new or additional phases of the commercial wind energy ordinance to allow time to research and update the commercial wind energy ordinance. Let me refresh and correct your memory, Larry. You've never even voted on enacting a moratorium on any further permitting of industrial wind projects. In more examples of the games you are playing, you won't even put a moratorium on your agenda. The fact is, you've been dodging the public's repeated requests since April 25th, when we first asked you to enact a moratorium on any wind project permitting to allow time to research and update Tama County's minimal outdated commercial wind energy ordinance. You were incorrect when you stated that the zoning board's meeting on September 12th lacked a quorum. You were wrong. The zoning meeting did represent a quorum. In fact, the 3 members of the zoning board who voted unanimously for the county to enact a moratorium on any wind project permits constituted a quorum and a majority. Let's walk you through the math. There are only 4 members of the zoning board at this time. That's by your choice. One of those 4 zoning board members, Craig Sash of rural Traer, has signed an easement for a wind turbine as part of the Salt Creek Wind Project. That makes him ineligible to engage in any discussion, decisions, or votes related to the commercial wind energy ordinance due to his conflict of interest as a wind easement holder. Craig Sash must recuse himself from receiving any information related to the commercial wind energy ordinance, any discussion related to it, or any decision on it, or land use regulations. 4 minus 1 equals 3. That leaves 3 members of the zoning commission who may consider recommendations to the county's land use regulations, including a moratorium on the commercial wind energy ordinance or any recommendation to update it. The 3 zoning board members who met and voted unanimously on September 12th to recommend a moratorium does in fact constitute a quorum. Your actions continue to contradict your words. Last week, you stated you were not going to fill the open seat on the zoning board until after the litigation against the county related to the county's handling of the wind energy conversion system ordinance and permitting of wind projects is resolved. So why did you reappoint Craig Sash to a second term on the zoning board on August 8th? And why did you appoint Kurt Kelly of rural Chelsea to the Board of Adjustment on August 8th? The lawsuit I filed against you as supervisors for your unlawful reapproval of the commercial wind ordinance May 16th without holding required public hearings or public notice was filed June 22nd. Your minutes of September 6th state that you will need to appoint someone to the zoning board following the resignation of Russell Peterson of Garwin for the term that expires June 30th, 2024. So why did you decide last week that you won't appoint anyone to the zoning board until litigation is resolved? Is it because you had too many qualified female candidates and you don't want to appoint a woman? You should be ashamed of yourself for playing yet another deceptive game. As we've said since spring planting season, and as we repeat now in harvest season, let's talk. Our coalition remains committed to helping to update Tama County's land use regulations and commercial wind energy ordinance, or better protect public safety and highly productive farmland. So let's talk. If you have nothing to hide and you are telling the truth, as elected officials, you can and should speak freely and openly in these public meetings to answer questions from the public. It is your duty and your obligation to represent the people who pay your salaries as Tama County taxpayers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.